Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen J Lotus, Pimp Sun Kiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast, maybe, with a pick a card. And this one will be set around love and money karma, okay? Specifically, what's bad karma is delaying our progress and our manifestations and our divine purpose. Now, we got 3 cards up here. Over to the left of them, over in the middle of them, and over to the right of them. These are all from the Kuan Yin Oracle, okay? Kuan Yin is a mother goddess of love. So we're going to open each group up with some messages from her. So each card represents a different group. From left to right is group 1, group 2 in the middle, and group 3 to the right. You can choose your group based on the imagery of the card. You can choose it based on the timestamp, specifically if you're on YouTube. Of course, I'll put the timestamp down there. Or, use your intuition, meditate, whatever, what have you. You can choose it based off the color, whichever floats your boat. All right. And I ain't gonna waste no more time. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the specificities of these cards. Let's go, group 1. Greetings, group 1. It is I, Queen J Lotus, Pimp Sun Kiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast with your messages concerning what bad karma in your love and money frequency. What bad karma in love and money is delaying and or blocking your progress and your manifestations and your divine purpose. And y'all's intro message from the Divine Mother Kuan Yin is here, the yellow tiger mother. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring within you, reminding you that you are a powerful being of light, and even whilst you are in flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you stand your ground as your light shines true. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Some in his will, some a rival. Yeah. But not for real, okay. So that song does channel through here, the eye of the tiger, right? So y'all may really want to gravitate, group 1, y'all may really want to gravitate towards tiger's eye right about now. Y'all might really be grasping for like an energy cleanse and a need to create this force field of protection around yourself. Spiritual hygiene, like not just on a physical sense, right? But also in a spiritual sense, because a lot of y'all may be surrounded by very tainted energy on a regular basis. And it's given that, think of it like pores, like your spiritual pores are very open. You have very loose, if you will, spiritual pores. And so it's a need for you to be very spiritually hygienic so that you wash other people's sins away up off of you and up out of your being, because it's a possibility that you could be mindlessly destiny swapping with people on the regular, and not like even in totality, but basically it's like very easy for other people to energetically leave their baggage on your doorstep, and you just through muscle memory habitually pick it up, giving very Ten of Wands energy and imagery. And the Ten of Wands is represented by someone who is carrying 10 big ass rods on their back, hunched over, struggling. Strong, ain't you? Strong. And your back is pissed at you. Chakras all out of alignment. So how strong are you? Do you know what strength is? And it's channeling that many of you may be taking on other people's karma through silencing yourself, because someone has taught you that strength is to excessively not respond, that strength is to peep in silence or something of the sort. It'll get more clear and specific as we go through the rest of the layout, but Spirit is definitely coming through to say it's time for a lot of y'all to roar on some bitch ass motherfuckers. Straight like that. It's time for a lot of y'all to get gutter and stop all that cute shit. Because you think that if you snap off, or you think that if you fight back in a particular way, that's going to mess up your karma. But in actuality, you're messing up your karma by not defending yourself. Because you're telling other people and you're telling the universe that you don't deserve to be protected. That you don't respect yourself or care about yourself enough to stand up for yourself. In a multitude of different ways, and not just one way, because there is a time and a place to keep it cute and keep it on mute. There is a time and place to flight or fawn, okay, in response to offense. However, it's also times and places to smack a bitch if you need to defend yourself. Don't sit up and just take no punches and let somebody beat up on you. Now, if you know you can't win the fight and that person might take you up out of here, definitely ball up. But no, by all means, fight for yourself. On a serious note, fight for yourself. So I'm gonna read this off again. This message from Kuan Yin, bars. And then we're gonna get into the rest of the layout to see the specificities of how this is hitting the varieties of you all. Because, you know, all of the messages may not apply to everybody. I'm reading for a collective. So take what resonates, leave the rest on the flow. Take the meat and spit out the bone, all right? Once again, from Kuan Yin, sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother Kuan Yin in her guardian role is roaring within you, reminding you that you are a powerful being of light. And even whilst you are in a flow of universal forces, your strong roots help you stand your ground as your light shines through. And another message that comes through off of me reading that is, for some of you, you get yourself all freaked out and you suppress a lot and you be having all this anxiety because you fear that if you allow yourself to be mad at somebody for real, or if you allow yourself to sit in the sadness at somebody for real, that you're going to do something to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. And Spirit is saying that you are punishing yourself. And that's a large place of where your bad karma is coming from, because you're generating and facilitating an energy of self-hate the more you sit up and punish yourself. And Spirit is also saying that it could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Spirit is saying all you guys to do for real, those of you that resonate with this message, all you really got to do is declare that you are mad at that person. Allow yourself to be mad. Allow yourself to tell the truth that you are pissed the fuck off at them. Even if you still love them, even if you still care about them, that can still be true. But you also need to honor the truth that they pissed you the fuck off and they had you fucked up. And God is going to act on your behalf. You ain't got to do nothing. And you're going to also end up showing yourself how much you can really trust yourself. And God is going to come through for you and show you how much you can trust God. All you got to do is honor yourself and tell the truth about yourself to yourself, including your emotions. Call a thing. Nah. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the specificities of the rest of these cards. And here we are into the officiality. Let's pop on over to the upper left of them. All right. Those two Mystic Monday tarot cards. I asked specifically, what bad karma in your money handlings, your money frequency, what bad karma with your money, what bad karma with money is delaying your progress in your manifestations and your divine purpose. So we have the Hierophant in reverse and we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse is pointing towards a lot of you have had very poor examples of leadership. So Spirit is saying your sense of authority has been warped and damaged. It's also given that some of you have had to be parents to your parents. This has led into a cycle of you always being a parent to everybody, wherever you are, constantly ended up in environments where you end up being the mama and the daddy to everybody, whether it's work, whether it's in your friend groups, you know, in your home space, in your relationships. Somehow you become a parent to people who you ain't a parent to. And so it's coming in to say, stop overplaying your role. You're a natural leader, yes. You're able to do all of these things, yes. But stop overplaying your role. Stop overplaying your hand. Stop overdoing your part. Stop doing other people's job for them. Okay? Drop the wands. Drop them. Drop the bags. Let folks pick up their own shit. Let folks fix what they broke. Okay? Because when you excessively take responsibility for everything, you're taking on all the accountability, which means you're also taking on all the karma, all of it. So it's like you end up giving away your good karma and you in turn take on other people's bad karma because you feel like that's what you deserve. Or you have this mindset like, oh, I can take it because I'm strong, or I have these resources, or I'm able to do this better than they are. So I just have to take it on. No, they won't ever learn if they don't have the experience. Move out of the way. Sit down. Go do what you do for you. Okay? Which leads us to the specificities of the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Many of you are feeling like y'all have a whole lot of the materials and the resources and the connects, but not the internal fulfillment. The passion is lacking. You are accomplishing a whole lot, but you're not feeling the victory. You're not feeling fulfilled, satisfied. It's this endless hunger pain towards being full, feeling whole, feeling the actual essence of wealth and richness. And this is a part of why a lot of you keep just giving all of your materials and things away, because you're not recognizing, for one, exactly what it is that you have on an intangible sense, and also The things that you have, you're disconnected from because it's not rooted in passion. It's not connected to your heart. It's somebody else's. So that's why subconsciously, mindlessly, you feel so free, or this pull, this calling to continuously give it all away because it's really not even yours. Because you've been skating on somebody else's path. You doing somebody else's work. And now and spirit is literally giving me this scenario of a student. A student forming a hustle of doing other people's homework for them or helping them with their homework. And they getting real juiced up off of all this money that they making from doing other people's homework. And the better grades they get for other people, the more money is coming in. That money is coming in, honey. And them grades is gratifying. All that praise is gratifying. But then they look up and they work ain't done. They grades ain't good. And all the people who work they doing, all the people they helping, they graduate. They top 10. They summa cum laude. And this here student is on academic probation. But you got the money though. You technically got the grades, but they not marked on your record. And now you mad. But you got the money though. So that's something most certain. I don't know exactly who that was for, but that was for somebody. All right? Take the meat, spit out the bone. So the bad karma that's radiating from y'all's money handlings and money frequency and all of that is really having a whole lot to do with overplaying your part, overdoing it. For some of you, likely overspending, over giving, being overly charitable. And there's also this thing of doing things for is giving instant gratification and or putting more value into material gratification, to where you're doing more for attention and more just for the physicality and or to say that you did it so other people can say that you have it, as opposed to it being rooted in a fire of passion that is unshakable in you, driving you to do something that you love that just so happens to also bring you wealth in an intangible sense and a tangible sense. And this brings back up some of the messages from the Kuan Yin card, of course. Specifically, whereas when I mentioned honor your emotion, acknowledge what it is. Besides that, stand in that truth. Communicate it to God. Say what you need. Say what you want. Where do you want to go? Watch God show out for you. As long as you're showing up for yourself, God is going to show out for you. And that's what they're coming through here to say to you, because you have great karma. That's what Spirit is saying. Y'all have great karma, but y'all got to stop giving it away. Stop giving it away. And a key point where Spirit is saying the way that you start to learn how to stop giving all of your blessings away is to tap in with your passion. Meditate and pray for clarity of your passion. There's a Rebel Oracle card that reads off, you got a feeling that you just can't shake. And it's another quote from the Rebel Oracle deck that says, that idea, that project, that person is waiting. There's another one that says, what the fuck are you waiting for? Get outside, move your ass. And with that, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse also represents someone who is sleeping on themselves. They not locked in to their discipline and their structure towards their goals. They are not doing the due diligence. They ain't doing the outlines. They are not actively committed. You got a whole lot of burning and boiling inside you. You know what you want to do, low-key, high-key, but you just keep allowing everything else and everybody else and all of their stuff to distract you and keep you just cycling in one spot. So Spirit is saying, what are you afraid of? Who is it that you are afraid of offending? Who are you afraid is going to attack you if you stand in the truth of your greatness? If you pop out and show niggas and do what you really want to do. I'm hearing that somebody is in the medical field and that is not your passion. You like the elements of service. You like the elements of being able to help people, but that's not your passion and that's not your purpose to be doing it in the medical field. There are other entities, and I'm hearing art. Somebody needs to be, I'm hearing whoever that resonates for, you're supposed to be doing some type of art or entertainment, and you're afraid to step out on faith and leave that stability, or you're afraid to commit to, it's like you already got all the stuff to fall back on, but you're afraid of how other people are going to view you. You're afraid that other people are going to start being like, what the fuck are you doing? You got a good job. Why the hell are you trying to do that? What, are you losing your mind? You sick or something? Fuck all that. Because other people's thoughts and opinions ain't gonna bless you, period. And other people's thoughts and opinions ain't been blessing you, period. So if you can play a large role in greatness in other folks' lives and in other folks' paths, let alone if you can facilitate the accomplishments that you have for yourself doing some shit that you really ain't even wanted to do. Imagine what you pull off doing something that you are actually passionate about. Get them folks up off your throne. Get them folks up off your throne. And get your ass back up there, okay? And do what you know. Now we're going to proceed on forward to the next cards, over to the rights of them. And there I asked the same question, but instead about love. What bad karma in love, and your love frequency, your love handlings and such, is delaying your progress and your manifestations and your divine purpose. And the first card we have from the Santa Muerte Oracle deck is Quetzalcoatl. I hope I said that right. I'll be practicing and stuff. That is the Aztec god of knowledge, dawn, merchants, arts, and professions. What we just say, class? What we just say? So yes, this god is known as a feathered serpent. And is highly associated with all things intellect, education, books, the invention of the calendar, as well as art. Signs that come up, as far as zodiac signs that come up that will be associated with this particular god and the energy of it would be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, Taurus, and Leo. So if either of those signs is your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mars, or Mercury, then that's some extra confirmation there. As well as the North Node. If you have either of those signs in your North Node, you may definitely resonate with these messages as well, because it may be very likely that your divine purpose is, like I was just saying, associated with entertainment, making a living doing entertainment, art, media, writing books, using words, speech, communication, sociology, psychology, philosophy, all of that, using the compilation of creativity and literary arts, all that to facilitate your making a living. And not just making a living for yourself, but being an influence, a leader, okay, a hierophant by way of your divine purpose. Okay, so like for instance, the channeling that was coming through about someone being a nurse or someone working in the medical field, and gravitating towards the medical field due to like the service element and saving lives and helping people and all of that. Spirit saying you can do all of that, and or you are supposed to be doing those things through artistry, education, writing books, telling your story through story times on YouTube, social media, podcasts, telling your story through, I said writing books, writing songs, performing, painting. You're supposed to be helping people through being a projected example. It's people that you're meant to reach through using these technology forms that we have. And it's not to downplay the medical industry or anything. That's just not what y'all supposed to be doing forever, and it's not your divine purpose. You're meant to reach people on a more universal level. You're not meant to be limited to just that or just whatever. You meant to do it big. And that can be anxiety feeling, that can feel like a lot of pressure. But Spirit is saying this is already in you. It's already in you. And especially being the fact that y'all have two deity cards that came out here, amongst the fact that the first card that came out is the Hierophant card. Yes, it's in reverse, but the fact that the Hierophant card came out for y'all, along with the messages that came out, that says a hell of a lot, okay? And so, like I said, we get to the Oracle cards in the love section here. Y'all have two deity cards. And Spirit is saying, y'all have been putting a lot of energy into seeking protection from humans. And it's not to say that no humans in your life are going to protect you, or that it's incapable or anything of that nature. But the protection that y'all require the most, humans cannot provide. So y'all have to be much more consistent, much more passionate, and much more intimate with y'all relationship with God, y'all relationship with the divine realm, y'all relationship with the spirit. Because that's what's going to really keep you afloat and stabilized, discerning at the right place, at the right time, and divine timing and divine design, honey. And that goes back to the Kuan Yin card from y'all's intro message. Specifically, the part where it says, the yellow tiger mother Kuan Yin in her guardian role is roaring within you, reminding you that you are a powerful being of light. And so that goes back to say, remember that God is also within you. Okay? God is also within you. And I'm gonna stick a pin in that because we're going to revisit that concept when we get to the bottom row. I want to tap into the other Santa Muerte Oracle card that is here, which is the goddess Chauchiutricle. Let me get it right. Chauchiutrique. The goddess of all the waters, lakes, seas, and sailors. And the goddess of beauty and fertility. So she is heavily associated with relationships. And that's some strong ass shit. Being the fact that, everybody is opening with the Kuan Yin intro messages, of course. But y'all messed around and got another mother goddess. One that is particularly associated with love. And has a lot of similar attributes to Kuan Yin. So, hey now, y'all better stop sleeping on yourselves. Y'all better stop sleeping on yourselves. Because the presence of these things is a reflection of you. So again, remember, God is on the inside. The advice from the dead associated with this card is do not fight against the flow you are in. A river cannot be tamed with force. You must surrender to its current and use its strength as if it were your own. I want to read it again just because I hate getting tongue-tied, y'all. Do not fight against the flow you are in. A river cannot be tamed with force. You must surrender to its current and use its strength as if it were your own. Again, remember God is within you. You keep feeling like your strength is only going so far. Your actions are only going so far. Relationships are only going so far. You keep feeling like all of these things are only going so far. It's because you're not tapped in with your inner God. If you're not tapped in with your inner God, your relationship with God is going to be fractions. It's going to end up operating and functioning on this frequency of transaction, which will have you on an exploitative frequency with God, which will have you attracting a whole lot of money and physical shit. And on the inside, you slowly becoming a black hole. And eventually, you either do something crazy that gets you a bunch of fucking court cases that you got to end up spending all your money on. Like some people we see in the media, no? Or you end up making yourself sick. Literally making yourself sick from being spiritually unsanitary. In simple terms. And then all your money gets spent on medical bills. And so with that, I'm saying, let God help you. Because I'm hearing that for some of you, there is church hurt. So inevitably, there is spiritual hurt there. Spiritual trauma. That needs to be unpacked. And so I'm hearing, if it ain't directed, it ain't respected. Address God about your anger. Address God about your spiritual hurt. Honor your emotions. Tell God how you feel. Where you want to go. What you want to understand. What you want to do. What you feel. What you need clarity on, what you don't understand. They're going to help you understand. Another part of this also, I'm going to highlight this particular part. A river cannot be tamed with force. You must surrender to its current and use its strength as if it were your own. You are also the river. A lot of people have tried to tame you with force to no avail. So whatever prison you feel like you're in, you're doing it to yourself at this point. Because you're way too fucking powerful for that. And that's not to say that you can't be victimized or you haven't ever been victimized. But it's your responsibility to stand up and get the fuck out once you realize what's going on. And you know what's going on. So stand in that shit and get your ass up out of there. So to tie all of that up and simplify the message as to what is the bad karma associated in your love frequency, your love handlings, that is delaying your progress in your manifestations and in your divine purpose. It's your rejection of God when it comes to your relationships and relating. When it comes to relating to yourself, when it comes to, like I said, relationships as in romantic relationships, when it comes to family relationships, God has not truly been present in those relationships. God has not truly been valued and prioritized and put first in those relationships. A lot of y'all's relationships have been guided by the world, have been guided by social media's opinions and shit, has been guided by what the elders say, which is a bunch of stuff that they got from white people who hated them. And remember, God is within you. So when you reject God, you are rejecting yourself. So the bad karma that's blocking y'all is self-hate and self-harm. Once y'all learn what it really is, once y'all decide that you want to learn what it truly is, you want to know and experience what it truly is, to love yourself, shit's gonna start turning around so fucking fast. And I'm gonna clarify something too, because I know some of y'all are probably like, but I mean, I pray, I do da 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 da. Remember, God is external as well as it is internal. Both need the attention. As above, so below. You got to do it to the bottom if you do it to the top, or else your grade will drop. And so by the accumulation of all of those messages from all of those top cards, y'all are being directed to re-educate yourself on what a lot of these things mean. What does it mean to be a hierophant? What does it mean to be an authority? What does it mean to be a leader? Look up these definitions. Research what these words mean, their origins, where they come from. Research what it means. Whatever it is that you want to be, what the emotions that come up, the thoughts that come up, any words you use. Somebody's asking you how you feeling. If you can't think about how you feeling, or you can't put no words to how you feeling, define the word feeling and just go to doing that. Eventually, especially if you tapped in with your inner God and you talking to them like, clarify, please, 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 please help me clarify this. In all honesty and leading with love, it's gonna come up. It's gonna come to you because you've done this before. You've done all of this before. You're just usually doing it for other people, and you usually have more confidence radiating through you when you're doing it for other people, which is why it ends up soaring. But then when you get back to yourself, that confidence is staggering. That's why it only goes so far. And also, it gives that some of you have helped and you are helping and protecting people who need to be in jail or in hell, and you need to let them go. Straight like that. And it don't mean you got to hate them, attack them, or none of that. You just simply need to remove yourself, get out of the way. Now, we get down here to the consumerism card. And it's right side up, so that's the side that we are focusing on. And it reads, focuses on material wealth and neglects true happiness. Unending desire for more and satisfaction is elusive. Honey, how many times that's been said throughout this whole reading? So like I said, this taps back to the inner God concept, which also ties to wealth and health being on the same frequency. Even if you look at the imagery of the card, he is forking money in his mouth. He's sitting down like he's prepared to eat food, but he's eating money. And the number on this card is the number 30. 3 is a number of creation, which is also a number of divine purpose. So bringing your visualizations into materialization, i.e. alchemy. And when you add 0 to any number, that heightens the divinity of the number. So once again, that's coming through. Spirit is saying, you doing all the earthly things. You checking off all the earthly boxes. Everything physical, all the hard work, you got that. Watch what happens when you bring God into it. And not just bring God into it so you can get some money or so you can accomplish something, but so that you can have something to say when you speak, and not just speak because you want to say something. And there is a thing here of some people in the past having done some bad money deals, scammed some people, stole from some people, burglarized some people, said you was going to pay somebody back and did not. You know, thought it wasn't going to be a big deal. The universe took note. So it's a lot of spirit really emphasizing and calling y'all attention towards money worship and idolization. And Spirit is telling me specifically, because I was fixing to explain it, but Spirit said for me to tell y'all to add that to y'all's key term list of words that y'all research. Idolization. Okay? And in your research, it's bound to make it very apparent to you how you have been worshiping other things and people. And other things and people that have had control over you, and you not realizing it. And it's been limiting your progress, and it's been limiting your being. And it'll make more sense to you too, especially for those of you who are like, you know, you may not be totally clear on what is meant by you needing to bring God into it more. You haven't had God really involved into your things. You know, if you feel like you have been and you're not understanding what that means, once you do your research on idolization, even if you think you know what that word means, do your research on what it means and meditate on it, ask for clarity about it and all of that. And it's going to become very clear to you. It's going to make total sense to you what all of that means and what's been having control over you and things and people that you've been worshiping. Moving on to the next card, which is going to elaborate on that a little bit more. And it is the peeping card in reverse. And I didn't specify before, but these two love and money pop art cards, it's just further elaborating and explaining all of the messages for the whole thing. So yeah, the peeping card is in reverse, so we focus on the reverse message, and it reads, the walls we built for privacy have crumbled, and now everyone knows too much. We need to rebuild trust before we can move forward. And so for y'all, this is about boundaries. Again, this goes back to the messages concerning overplaying your part, overplaying your role. Because when your eyes are not on your own paper, you leave yourself open for somebody else to come take your shit. Okay? Or mark on the paper whatever they want to mark on it and you don't even realize it. Another part of this is some of you have been scrolling social media and stuff way too much and comparing your life to other people, and that is not doing you good. That's not doing you good. You need to do a social media break and do some journaling. And like I said, lock in on, if you're not clear on what your passion is, figuring it out. And if it came up to you, you know what your passion is that's been like on your mind lately, and the stuff that came out was just confirmation. Lock in. Because y'all just don't know how impactful y'all are for real. Y'all have been like really beating yourselves up, feeling like you've wasted so much time and it's gonna take you so long to, you know, restart something. And that's something that some of you have been imprisoning yourselves to, feeling like you don't want to start over because it may take too long for you to now get something else off of the ground. But I'm not getting that from this reading. Spirit is giving that y'all are so fucking powerful, bro. And y'all know that all y'all got to do is make the decision and lock the fuck in. And spirit, the universe is already on your side. So it's your passion. So they not gonna have you 12 years a slave to the bullshit. Quiet as it's kept, loud as it is, you done had yourself 12 years a slave to the bullshit. And so the issue that you're really having and the person that you're really needing to forgive and rectify that with is yourself. You need to forgive yourself for the time that you feel like you wasted, the mistakes you feel like you made, the mistakes you did make, you know, the trespassing that you did. You need to forgive yourself for what you didn't know. Forgive yourself for what you did know and didn't do better. You need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for making yourself a slave to other people's thoughts and opinions and other people's bullshit. Because as much as y'all definitely honor y'all emotions and talk to God and all of that about, you know, whatever anger you have with God, whatever anger you have with spirituality, church hurt, religion hurt, all of that, it's totally valid. However, you'll come to realize that you've likely been blaming God for the actions of human beings, including your own. And I know you probably be like, well, why would God allow this? Why would God allow that? Each human being is dual in their demons and their angels. Just as we have God in us, we also have the devil in us. And we all are granted free will. Regardless of what humans say, regardless of what the books that humans write say, regardless of what the laws that humans write say. So, again, we all have God in us. We all have the devil in us. We all have angels in us. We all have demons in us. We also have free will. So God allows things to take place so that we can be met with circumstances and choices, so that we, as well as other people in the universe, can truly learn who we are at the core, outside of all of the flesh and everything else. So it's also like, think about how two people can be raised by the same exact people in the same circumstances and all of that, but can turn out totally different. The difference is, while there are circumstances where children are being treated differently and all of that stuff, still, even outside of all of that, the way one exercises their free will makes a large difference to how their life turns out. Because it makes a large difference and it shows the truth of how they are relating to themselves and how they see themselves the most. Just as you can sit up and tell somebody they pretty all damn day and they can genuinely be the most beautiful fucking person on this earth. But if they are committed to seeing themselves as ugly, they won't ever receive your compliments. So you'll be standing there wasting your fucking time. And so it's like, in a situation like that, yeah, you recognize they pretty or you see them talking down on themselves, you check your box and say, hey, you're a beautiful person. Don't talk to yourself like that. Man, no, I'm ugly. Okay, at that point, tell them have a good day and move on along. Do not overplay your role. Don't overplay your role. Because some people, a lot of people are committed to their demons. That's the choices that they are making. And that is the way that they are choosing to use their free will. And I'm sure we know the term, be fruitful and multiply. There's a clip. I talk about this clip a lot. There's a clip of Diana Ross where she talks about, with every bad thought that comes to mind, a good thought gonna come right behind it. With every good thought that comes to mind, a bad thought gonna come right behind it. That's that river that one of them cars was talking about also, that can't be tamed by force. Them thoughts gonna come up. You exercise your free will and choose what you're going to be fruitful and multiply with. You want to be fruitful and multiply with the demons? Because that's gonna draw up rotten fruit. It might be sparkly and look good on the outside, but on the inside, it's infested with worms and parasites. Or do you want to be fruitful and multiply with the higher potentials of things? Y'all got the experience. Y'all got the experience. You know what it is. Bring it on home. Suki, Suki, Suki. And with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this couch right. And I'm thoroughly appreciative of the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quotes both next time. And be sure to bless that comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you in always like love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.